Hi, welcome to or back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shea and I've been living in Bologna, Italy for 2 years. My channel is mostly about language learning, so today I wanted to share some ideas about how you can switch up your language learning routine and try something new and fun. I think language learning challenges are a really great way to help keep you motivated, and they're honestly not really something that I've incorporated into my study routine, so I'd like to try some of these as well. So here are some ideas for weekly challenges focused on various aspects of language learning. And of course, any resources that I mention will be linked in the description below. Alright, so let's get into it. The first challenge is very simple, just one focused on vocabulary. So spend 1 week really focused on learning new vocabulary and choose a set amount of words you want to study and learn every single day. So this could be anything ranging from 5 words to 50 words. I wouldn't overdo it. Of course, if you want to make the challenge super intense for yourself, that's fine. But I think especially if you don't have a ton of time, or maybe you're at a more advanced level and it's a little bit harder to learn new words, I would keep this number probably no more than 15 new words a day. So you could get these words from a book that you're currently reading, a show that you're watching, a movie, YouTube videos, grammar textbooks. Wherever you're finding new vocabulary, I would add it into a flashcard set, basically some sort of application or digital flashcards that make them really easy to review anywhere, anytime. And make sure to review these words throughout your day. So during the challenge, I would challenge you not just review your flashcards once, but have that repetition throughout the day. And also be sure to study the new words each day, but don't forget about the ones from the days before. So be sure that you're constantly reviewing the whole flashcard set as it gets bigger with more words. And then by the end, you can even do just like a final quiz to make sure that you get 100% of the words correct. This next challenge is for my writers out there. So you could do a 1 week journaling challenge. And this is actually something I did on my channel a few years ago. So I do have a video talking about journaling in Italian for 1 week if you need some inspiration. I would recommend to choose a topic, thought starter, question, prompt that helps you write every day. Otherwise you could write about your day, but it's helpful to have different prompts so that way you can get more variety of topics, and that way you could learn new words and practice new conjugations, tenses, stuff like that. And if you don't know where to find topics, you can check out the video that I made, or you can easily look on Pinterest or Google, just search journaling prompts and you will find plenty. And while you're writing, don't focus on being correct. So you don't want to spend all your time looking up words. How do I say this? How do I say that? How do I conjugate this? Just write stream of consciousness. And maybe if you really don't know a word, you could write it in your native language and then come back to it later. I would just focus on getting your ideas out on paper. So you can set a goal for yourself, writing 1 page, 2 pages a day, whatever it may be, depending on your level. And then later you can actually go through and correct it. Or if you have a tutor, a friend, someone who is a native speaker of the language you're learning, they can correct it for you. But don't worry about being correct the first time around when you're writing. This next weekly challenge is focused on reading. So depending on your level, try to finish a short story or a full book in 1 week. Definitely make sure that you're matching your level. So even if you're more advanced, you're intermediate, probably don't choose a really long novel. Probably choose something a little bit more realistic. And then of course, if you're a very beginner, you can just try to get through a short story or choose maybe 3 to 4 short stories. And then depending on how long the book or story is, calculate how many pages you'll need to read per day, and that way it's a lot easier to keep track of the amount of things you need to do per day. But remember, this is a challenge, so try to do a little bit more than you normally would, so that way it's not too easy. Also use this opportunity to track new vocabulary words that you've been using. So this could be another great option to pair with the vocabulary challenge and really just get that like double whammy language challenge throughout this week. This next challenge is to work on speaking, which I know a lot of you don't practice enough, and I'm also talking to myself because speaking practice was always the hardest for me when I was studying on my own before I actually moved to Italy. Obviously now I have plenty of opportunities for Italian speaking practice, but this is for all of you who have been avoiding your speaking practice. So yes, this week's challenge will be doing speaking practice every single day for a set amount of time. And I recommend finding a partner or a tutor or somebody to actually speak with, not necessarily just speaking out loud to yourself. But if you are really shy or you're not quite ready to speak with someone, obviously you can kind of change this challenge to whatever works for you. So if you really are someone who can only do speaking aloud, telling a story just by yourself, that's totally fine because that's still speaking practice. But I would really love if you challenge yourself by actually speaking to someone else and having a conversation. Something you could do is set an amount of time that you want to be speaking, you want to have a conversation each day. So this could be something like 30 minutes or an hour, 2 hours, depending on your level. You could find a native speaker on the apps HelloTalk or Tandem. They're both free and you can send messages or audio messages, or you could even find a language buddy to set up a call so that way you could do a video call with them depending on how comfortable you feel with them, and if they're willing to also help you out, you could do a language exchange. Or my recommendation is using italki, and I have used italki for years now. I still use italki, and it's where you can talk with a tutor or a native speaker through video calls, and they're very affordable. Like lessons start at $5 per hour. So this option isn't technically free, but it's a good way to invest in yourself, and you don't even have to spend that much to talk with a tutor for an hour or even just 30 minutes. And if you schedule sessions every day for a week, it'll really help you commit to this challenge, and I think you'll get a lot out of it, because I think by the end of the week, after doing every day of speaking practice with a tutor, you'll actually see a huge improvement. So if you want to use italki, I do have a code in the description, and it should get you $5 in credits, maybe $10. Honestly, I don't remember exactly how it works. If you want to sign up, at least try my code because it should give you some sort of discount, so that way you can get started on your lessons with a little bit of a discount. This next challenge has to do with watching TV, so it should be more fun. This idea is that you can watch an episode of a TV show in your target language or one YouTube video every single day for a week. So I would go ahead and plan these out ahead of time so you already know what you'll be watching. Maybe you want to start a new series on Netflix, Prime, something like that. That would be perfect because that way you know exactly what you'll be watching each day. But just kind of plan it out for the week so that way you're not wasting time searching through YouTube trying to figure out what it is that you want to watch. For an extra challenge, I would recommend also writing a summary or speaking a summary out loud of whatever you just watched. So at the end of the episode or the YouTube video, just kind of talk to yourself out loud or write down a little bit of what happened in the video, some things you learned, some things you thought were interesting, just stuff like that to get extra practice. And then of course, feel free to rewind or rewatch things in case you need to go back, just to make sure that you comprehend everything that's happening. And then a resource for this that I recommend is LingoPie. You've probably heard me talk about LingoPie before, but you can watch these Netflix series with dual subtitles, which on Netflix you can't do. So with LingoPie, you can watch with dual subtitles, and you can just like hover over the word for the translation. You can also slow down the speed of whatever you're watching. So it's really helpful if for a Netflix series you can't understand the actors speaking at full speed. It's really nice to slow it down like just a little because it helps you comprehend a little bit better. You can also practice your pronunciation, and they have like vocab flashcards. I mean, they have it all. So LingoPie is another thing. If you want to try, I will also put it down in the description below. Usually you can get like a 7-day free trial. So perfect. You have it for a week for your challenge. Or another free resource is called Language Reactor, which you can use on YouTube videos. So if you want to watch YouTube videos and also hover over those subtitles for instant translations, that is a resource you can use, and I will also put that down below. Then finally, this is a bonus challenge, another one for the writers out there. This one is not a week. This one will actually be 1 month. It is inspired by NaNoWriMo, which if you don't know stands for National Novel Writing Month. So typically in November, there is this challenge to write a full 50,000 word novel during the month of November. So I think this one also would just be better if you're more intermediate or advanced. I think it's a great way to put all of your language skills to the test, put them to work, and also be creative. So I'm a person who I used to love writing short stories, creative stories. That was kind of my creative outlet before I started making videos. So I would love to actually do this challenge myself, but I would say that for like a language learning one, I think 50,000 words is very intense, so I would take that down a little bit. When I saw ideas of this challenge, I saw people recommending at least 200 words per day, which really is not bad. I think if you're more advanced, I would bump it up. but just find the word count that seems doable for you, but again, is still a challenge. So maybe try 500 words a day, 1,000 words a day. Again, whatever you think is realistic and best for your level. And of course, you don't have to wait until November. You could just do this challenge whenever. And I think I want to give this a try because I was really inspired when I heard about it and I think it would be really fun. So I'm going to spend this next month kind of mapping out the type of story that I want to write, just to have an idea. And then I think the next month I'll challenge myself. So let me know if you want to see a video about that. I'm trying to see if it will work with certain summer plans and travel. But if it does, it would be very interesting and very fun, and you guys could follow along. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you would like to see a video about, this 30-day challenge, writing a story in Italian. Hopefully these challenges gave you some inspiration about ways you can switch up your language learning routine. And definitely let me know which challenges you will be trying in the comments below, or if you have any other recommendations for fun challenges. And of course, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. And I'll see you all again in the next one.